let me know. I will bring you home, baby. And if that's what it takes, I will set fire to heaven's gates. Come on and let me know. I will bring you home. Yeah, I'll walk on water across the sea just to hear you breathing when you sleep. She got that face that can sail 1,000 ships, but she's seen so many miss. It's like they hit the rock and sink to the abyss. But I'm determined to pull up on her show, bring her aboard and sail away forevermore. Well, I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy. Yeah, I know these waves are gonna toss me around and take me down, but I'm gonna follow the light straight to your show, do whatever it takes, bring you back home. Cause I just need you to know one thing: I won't give up on love as long as I can breathe. Come on and let me know. I will bring you home, baby. And if that's what it takes, I will set fire to heaven's gates. Come on and let me know. I will bring you home. Yeah, I'll walk on water across the sea just to hear you breathing when you sleep. Come on and let me know. Come on and let me know. If I capsize in the eye of the wind of the storm, I can thank God that He gave me something worth dying for. But I know I'll come.
You are. That got you going. Really? What's the name of that group? They are We, the Ghosts. They are Artist Spotlight of the Week. Go out to our website, www.avradio.org, and go to the Artist Spotlight of the Week, and you can read all about them. Please let them know that you heard about them on American Veterans Radio and where you were listening from. That's really, really important geographically, so they know that, we're more than words. You guys in 183 countries, let them know. And talk about letting them know. He's going to let us know, because we have the privilege on American Veterans Radio, WAVR 97.0, to have the lead singer, Beau Tyler, live with us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, Beau, what's going on, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, sweet. I was just telling you off air, and I want to tell everybody else. These guys, you and your band, you just, when I heard you, I was like, wow, this is somebody I want to listen to. And just kick ass. I'm telling you, you're just good, guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Now, I don't know if you were listening, but I've been kind of teasing the listeners a little bit about my connection to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay?
Okay.
It's a sad story, but not such a sad story. My mom and dad divorced, and my mom and my stepfather ended up going to Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all things. So I actually went to junior high, and let's see if you know about this, the Orville Wright Junior High. Are you familiar with that?
I don't know if that's still a junior high anymore in Tulsa.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's actually the Big Round School. Anyway, yeah, I was there. I spent my
Big Round School, I can tell you what that is. That turned into Metro Christian Academy, and that's where I went to high school.
Really?
That means we went to the same school.
Yes, we did. That was when I did it, I think it was like 1975. So
what a small world.
So I wanted to share that with. All right, let me kind of prelim this into everybody who is listening, and just give me a second. I know it's very humbling because I already talked to you about you, but I want to just bear with me. Here we go. We the Ghosts, you guys were formed in 2012. At 2012, just the year, inaugural year you guys were formed, the ABOT Awards held in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You guys won Best Indie Band for 2012, Song of the Year, Male Vocalist of the Year, and again in 2013, when the awards were held in Tulsa, Album of the Year, Band of the Year, and Male Vocalist of the Year. Bear with me, I'm not even done. All right. 4. And my little bullet points here. Then in 2013, your Sinking Suspicion album won Rock Album of the Year at the LA Music Awards. Then in September 2014, you guys were the Musical Group of the year at the LA Music Awards. And then in 2015, your debut, single debut, Let Me Know, appeared at number 4 on the Billboard magazine's Hot Single Sales chart. What I am telling you, in that short amount of time, how in the heck are you handling all of that accolades and all that attention coming to you? Because apparently there's more people like me who are just enjoying what you guys are doing. All right, the floor is yours, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's that hard to handle for us. We're not that kind of band. We're not the band that really cares about those awards. It's flattering, it's awesome, it's reaffirming, but it's not something that changes who we are. I don't think I actually ever went to the Abbott Awards in 2012 or 2013. I remember one year I was sick. I shy away from that stuff a little bit sometimes. It feels a little weird when everyone's looking at you and you're not on stage with a microphone in your hand, you know? That's my comfort zone. And we did go to the LA Music Awards both times. It was very humbling. We did not expect to win either time. It was we were like, cool, it'll be great exposure, but I mean those things and the Billboard stuff and everything, that's just stuff that happens after the fact, you know. I mean, it's like a separate thing. It definitely doesn't elevate who we think we are or anything. You know, we're all best friends that live within 2 miles of each other, and we own our own studio and we write our music and the label puts it out and we go play shows and we hang out and we drink beer with each other and we just keep it real, you know?
And you know what I think? By just listening to what you were just saying, and I believe that is what keeps us all grounded, because a lot of times, I just wanted to let everybody know, though, you know, you may feel that way, but a lot of people around you feel like your peers, you guys got what is going on. And you do. But the thing about it is, I've always felt that, well, here's a saying. I don't know, you know, many of my listeners heard me say this before, but throughout the years, but I always say if you do the right things for the right reasons, good things happen.
Right.
And I believe it with all my heart. And so I believe you did the right thing for the right reason, and people caught on to it, and they said good things happen to you. So you get all these awards. But keeping it real, just like you said, go and have a beer. And you know, you talk about the comfort zone. I get asked a lot to publicly speak. And I got to tell you, I'm an introvert by nature, and a lot of people don't realize that with me, but I am. And when I get out, like you said, outside of the microphone in my face, and I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. So I kind of get where you're going with that.
Well, it's weird. I'm totally a cross between an introvert and an extrovert. I'm a total ambivert. It kind of just depends on the day. You know, I'm definitely an outgoing person. I'm definitely a front man at heart. But and it is weird. You know, people kind of change their perception of you, and they start to think you're more than you are. But you know, we've all kept the same friends we've always had. You know, I mean, when we're home from tour, we're with the same friends we've had since high school. You know what I mean? That keeps you grounded, and it doesn't change anything for us. I don't know. It's easy to not worry about that stuff. And the thing is, when writing a song for the right reason is working, obviously we need to not change who we are. Or it might change the music. You know what I mean? I think our most popular song among our fan base is "Letters to God," and it's a 7-minute song. So that's anything but a radio format or a single. And that was us just being honest and me singing about losing my father to cancer and the battle that our entire band has struggled with cancer, and you know, just being honest with who we are and writing real lyrics and over a peppy beat or you know, a big melody or something, and then just hang out and be friends and let the rest take care of itself, you know?
Oh, absolutely I do. And you know, to talk about the cancer thing, my father died of cancer as well many years ago, and so it kind of touches me. And actually, talk about this song. Yes, it is long. I actually listened to that, and I actually called my wife and I says, "Listen to this." So you might want to tell you did touch me with that one anyway. But again, we're not going to go down on that right now. But okay, we talk about that. But you've had the opportunity to perform alongside bands such as One Republic, Neon Trees, Imagine Dragons. You guys actually opened for them. What is up with that? How cool is that?
That was really cool. It was way too early in our band, though. I remember it was really funny. Like, I don't think the crowd caught it. The crowd loved it. But that was, I think we'd been a band for, like, I want to say not even a year whenever we played with Imagine Dragons the first time. And we walk on stage, and it's a sold-out arena. I want to say it was 7,000 or 8,000 people. And it's the first time in the band that I had ever played without a guitar in my hands. You know, when we started out, I was playing guitar and singing, and now I hardly ever pick up a guitar on stage. I'm almost always just with a microphone, but there's this weird phase of learning to be a frontman without an instrument where you're basically just saying, what do I do with my hands? Everyone's looking at me. Well, when you're used to having a guitar in your hands, you want your hands out at the side. We walk on stage, and I remember having so much energy, I just jumped up in the air, like I almost skipped onto the stage. It was pretty hilarious. Nobody really caught it. It's funny too, like when you're on stage, there's lifetime and there's stage time. Anybody who's ever been in a really intense emotional moment knows that time works at a different speed when your anxiety and your emotions are really heightened. And I remember I couldn't find my capo for my guitar. And it was probably about 10 seconds, and I thought it was like 5 minutes. And I remember just absolutely freaking out. It was the only hiccup in the show. But it was a little bit out of body because it all happened so fast, and then we're backstage, and then they rush us up on the stage, and then, hey, there's 7,000 or 8,000 people. What's happening? And then 45 minutes rushes by, and you felt like all you did was take a breath and it was over. You know, that's pretty much how all the shows are now. You take a breath and it's over, and you blink and it's gone. So we just enjoy it while it's happening.
We'll talk about enjoying when it is happening. I lived in Texas. By the way, like I said, I lived in Oklahoma. Then I went in the Army. By the way, I spent time there at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, but also in Texas. And one thing, I've been to the city of Austin, but I never got to see South by Southwest. And you guys got to perform there. How awesome is that?
Yeah, we did it 2 years in a row. We didn't do it last year, but it's not the same as it was the last however many years. It's a little bit more corporate now, which is good and bad. It's almost overpopulated now. You know, you can just try to walk across the street. That might take you 5 minutes. It's just bodies crammed against bodies. But it's absolutely worth it if you ever get the chance. It's hot. The water's like $5 a bottle. It's incredibly expensive. But if you avoid the big shows and you just want to wander random, you're going to find your new favorite band. And that's what's cool about South by. We had a blast there. We played some really big shows the last time we went. I think we did 4 shows in 3 days, I want to say. And I remember one show, the greatest show was the smallest one. The place held about, I don't know, 150 or 200 people, and I guess there was a line waiting for us the whole day. And when we finally walked in there and picked up our instruments, that room just lost its mind. That was one of the most fun shows of my life. You know, small shows like that where the energy is just palpable. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I do. And I'm going to ask you a question that I've done throughout the years for people I've interviewed, in the fact that, and I do this to everyone, so I'm not putting you on the spot here. When you do live performances, you get, quote unquote, an older demographic at times. You get a younger. In your case, in this one, it was a more energetic. So, do you really change now as a band, as a person? Do you change, even though it may be the same song, same playlist, whatever the case? Do you change your approach?
Not really. We used to, in the beginning, we used to be worried that we would commonly think of ourselves as a pop band and not really a rock band, even though we have a drummer and a guitarist and a bass player, and it's a rock setup. We also have a violinist and a djembe and a pianist, And we would tend to think of ourselves as a pop band. We just wanted to be a great pop band and give pop a great name, But what we realized is we played some much heavier shows with bands like Drowning Pool and Red and Hurt and Aranda and people like that. And we found that it didn't matter if we were playing with a hip-hop group or a hard rock group or a pop rock group like Imagine Dragons or whoever. It just didn't matter. So we stopped. After about a year and a half into being a band, we were like, no, let's just go up on every stage, have the guts to do what we do, And that's whenever the band really took off to another level, is when we stopped trying to cater. Because a band never, any human being is half who they see they are and half who others see they are. You can't fully see yourself, and neither can others, So it's kind of the same thing with a band. A band collectively, when you create it, becomes this new person, this person who's a composition of all the people within it. And when we found that we stopped trying to assume who people thought we were or assume how people were perceiving us, that's when the band just took an elevator to another level. You know what I mean? It became honest. It became that approach. And for some reason, our music works on any stage with any group of bands. People just always seem to dig it. It still kind of shocks us sometimes, especially I remember when we played with Drowning Pool, we were just like, we are going to get swallowed up. These bands are so heavy, so much heavier than us. These fans are going to hate us. Nope. I mean, it was great. And then we did the Rocklahoma Music Festival this year, and it was all heavy band. We were almost like the token pop band, and they put us to headline on one of the stages, and it was unreal. It was absolutely people as far as you could see, just right with us every step of the way. We've learned to never adapt, never to try to compromise our sound to tailor an audience. Just do what we do, and they always seem to love it.
You know what? And I love that answer, because that's with us. We are just what we are. I mean, we don't try to pretend to be anybody other than what we are. And I guess people have joined it, So, you talk about your band, though. You actually have, was it Jocelyn Rowland, right? You're a violinist.
Right.
That doesn't happen very often in a quote-unquote pop rock band. What brought that on? And by the way, I love it, to be honest with you.
You know what's funny? I knew Jocelyn. Now, we're all from the same music scene, and I had lived in Dallas for 7 years, and I moved back to Tulsa because I was in another band, and we were touring around, and it was the biggest band I'd ever been in. We were on a major label. Everything was what you should want as a musician. And it's funny because I had always kind of knocked on musicians who walked away from big bands. I was like, how could you throw that away? And then when you're finally in that situation, you realize that, well, just being in a really big band doesn't make you the happiest person in the world.
Sure.
It doesn't grant you happiness. You have to be happy with what you're doing. So I started We the Ghost as a side project, and it was just me and Dane. Dane's our djembe player. And I got 2 weeks into this tour. We were out supporting the Plain White Tees, and I just told the band, I have to go home. I'm not happy anymore. I can't do this. I went home, and it was full speed ahead with We the Ghost, and I had this vision for what I wanted We the Ghost to be, and it's who we are now. It took us some time to get there because it was such a new thing, a new sound, But one thing I knew I wanted was I didn't want to just put violins on some backing track somewhere that we programmed in a studio. I wanted a violinist that thought like a violinist, that played like a violinist. Not just me playing the piano and making it sound like a violin and putting it on a computer.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
And so we ended up getting Matt McCann, our guitarist, who, in my opinion, I'll brag on him and tell anyone he's the best guitarist in the world. He doesn't like it, but I don't care. So he had played with Jocelyn in this other band, and this band was right on the cusp of really blowing up, and it just fell apart. And so I had said I wanted a cellist, was actually my original goal, in lieu of a bass player. And I put this out on Craigslist because we had the whole band, but we couldn't figure out who was going to play that part because the musicians in this band are so technically trained and classically trained and solid musicians. We needed someone on that level. And Jocelyn wrote me on Craigslist. And randomly, one of my friends were like, nah, she's a total jerk. And they were wrong. They'd probably been, drinking or something and got the wrong impression. So I wrote her back, and I was like, not interested. Or something like that. She always pokes fun out of it. I don't remember even saying it. But then about 2 or 3 months later, she came back around, and she's like, no, I'm going to be in your band. And I was like, well, fine. We're playing this showcase, and we need a violinist. Just come up on stage with us. Just make it up as you go, because I knew she was that good. She came on stage and absolutely killed it. And we walked off stage, and everyone was standing around, and I was like, so you're in the band now. Deal with it. That's how it happened. When you know, and now Jocelyn's, my best friend in the entire world. But I was afraid of her at first, because I was like, oh, no, is she is she a pain in the butt? But not at all. She just ended up being the sweetest person in the world. She's our band princess.
Well, the thing about it is, I get called a pain in the ass from time to time as well. But I'm a perfectionist, and so I just want everything to be good. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from. But I just want to tell you, I really was knocked out when I was listening to you guys, and I went out and checked you guys out on YouTube, and I saw Jocelyn, and I'm like, yes, this worked. Like you said, it's not just someone playing a violin. It worked, and it works really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we see melody the same way, and whenever you get people in a band that are clashing on how they perceive melody, or where a note should lie in a progression, and that isn't eye to eye, you have a problem. And in our band, everyone sees eye to eye melodically. So it's really just, I write a song, usually in 15 or 20 minutes. I take it to the band, and within an hour or two, they do what they do, and the song's done. Let's go to the studio. You know what I mean? When you've got a chemistry like our band has, you just do it and you keep it real.
Well, you talk about chemistry. I got to quote this. Stephen Watkins from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He says, quote, the membership of We the Ghost has more chemistry than Breaking Bad, unquote.
Yeah, that was a lot to live up to.
Wow.
I read that quote, and I wondered when I read it, it was like, I wonder if this guy had this quote ready to go. Then he heard us, and he was like, cool, I'll use it on them, or if he really thought about that for us. I like to think he thought about it for us, because it was too nice.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you are too nice to hang out with us, Beau, and we love your band. We're going to be supporting you from here on out. We're going to have you, even though you're not going to be Spotlight next week, we have a part of our website that artists we support. You will always be there with a link to you guys.
Thank you.
And you are just absolutely, positively phenomenal. I love what you're doing, and you give the old guy hope that, you know what I call classic rock, you guys be classic rock 20 years from now. I have no doubt about that. I really believe that.
I sure hope so. Thank you.
And so how can people find out about you? How can they go out and buy your music? Please tell us.
Well, I'll tell you first. I have to thank our friends. We've made some amazing friends over at Dr. Pepper, and they're such a huge reason that the single is killing it right now. We did that one of a kind sound project with us and Flyleaf and OK Go and Andrew Bell and those guys, and that's a huge reason the song's doing so well on Billboard. So you can find it there on their one of a kind sound website, or just go to our website. Everything is at wetheghost.com. That's got links to our Facebook, our Twitter, Instagram, Vine, all those things, But really, that's the best place. You can find us on any social media network, but just go to wetheghost.com. I think we've got about 10 songs up. We just found out the other day, label said the album is going to come out in January.
Yes.
So that's incredible news. I mean, I know Let Me Know's playing across radio stations all across the country. I think we're going to be releasing another single probably within the next month or two, I imagine. And but until then, until the album comes out, we've got a bunch of stuff on our website, a ridiculous amount of videos, more coming. Actually, we've got another video coming in about a week for our song Come Down. Yeah, that's the best way to do it, wetheghost.com.
There you go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. You heard Beau Tyler. You heard all about We the Ghost. And by the way, Beau, you need to make sure that we get some of your music so we can get you up here to the world. 183 countries, all 7 continents, all U.S. states and territories. We get around, buddy.
I want to thank our servicemen, and we'll make sure that you are absolutely the first people who get the new music. When we get it, we'll send you the whole record. You can play whatever you want.
Oh, man, we appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, please go out and let We the Ghosts know that you heard them on American Veterans Radio, where you were listening from. Beau, thank you, and to all the band. Keep on doing what you're doing. Like you said, keep your individuality. Just keep being you and rock the damn world, won't you?
Thank you so much. We'll do our best.